2007, Modern Warfare changed the FPS genre. In 2009, Modern Warfare 2 broke the world. It was a game of more controversy, more cinematic spectacle, and a betrayal that an entire generation of gamers still haven't forgotten. Modern Warfare 2 features 3 distinct modes: campaign, spec ops, and multiplayer. Let's talk about the campaign first. The story is split between 2 different factions that you get to play as, Task Force 141 and the US Army Rangers. You'll play as 4 different main characters throughout the campaign. You'll start off as Private Allen until he eventually gets killed off. Then you'll play as James Ramirez. You also get to play as Roach in the Task Force 141 and then until he gets killed off. Then you play as Soap. Let me summarize the story for you. In Call of Duty 4, the main villain was Zakhaev. He was killed off. In this game, Makarov is his protege. He basically wants to start a war between Russia and the West. You'll play as Joseph Allen. General Shepard handpicked him to go on an undercover mission to join Makarov's crew. But the thing is, Makarov already knows that you're an American, because General Shepard secretly let him in on it. You join Makarov to go to a Russian airport and massacre hundreds and thousands of innocent people. At the very end of the mission, Makarov kills you and leaves your body there to frame the US for the attack. Russia believes that the US caused the massacre at the airport. They launch a full-scale invasion on the United States. At this point, since Joseph Allen's dead now, you'll switch over to Private James Ramirez, who you'll play as for the rest of the campaign when you're playing the Army Rangers. Task Force 141, Soap, Roach, and Ghost hunt for Makarov across Brazil and Russia until they eventually rescue Captain Price from a gulag. You'll play a mission called Loose Ends, where General Shepard, the man leading the American response, betrays Task Force 141 at a safe house that was Makarov's. Once you retrieve a device, he kills Ghost and Roach, burns their bodies, tosses them into a ditch. In Call of Duty 4, there's a mission where a nuke goes off and kills 30,000 US soldiers. This pissed Shepard off. Basically, throughout the whole story, General Shepard's plan is to orchestrate a war between the US and Russia and win and become a war hero. The thing is, once you get the device from Makarov's safe house in the mission Loose Ends, not only does it have information about Makarov, but it has information about General Shepard leaking Private Allen's information. Shepard wants to eliminate Task Force 141 because they know too much about his plans on orchestrating World War III. Shepard needed only to be the one to write history as the victor. If Task Force 141 shared the data, he would be tried for treason instead of celebrated as a hero. At the end of the game, Price and Soap are the only ones left. They go rogue and try to hunt down Shepard's men, his private army shadow company, in Afghanistan. Eventually you get on a boat chase and hunt down Shepard once and for all. There's a total of 18 missions in the campaign, including the tutorial, SSD, and the museum epilogue that you get for once you finish the story mode. Modern Warfare 2, one of the best story modes in any Call of Duty ever. Honestly, it's probably my favorite. This and Black Ops 1, but this is just so epic, you know? And the amazing soundtrack by Hans Zimmer just adds to it. It's so catchy and epic and cinematic. Everything about the story is fantastic. Everything from the no Russian mission with the shock value and how controversial it was back then, to Shepard's betrayal of losing Ghost, and now Shepard's one of gaming's most hated villains. The atmosphere of Their Own Accord and Whiskey Hotel, just seeing the environmental storytelling of the US Capitol and ruins, it's just so epic, and the music just gives you chills. Captain Price's return as Prisoner 627, super hype and a surprise if you've never played or known about it before you played the story. Now let's talk about Spec Ops, and there's 23 missions total. Each Spec Ops mission has a difficulty you can choose, with ranging from the easiest difficulty, giving you 1 star, to the hardest difficulty, like Veteran, giving you 3 stars. There's 69 stars total to earn. Haha, funny number. Some Spec Op missions are just like reuse sections from the main story mode, which that's not a problem. Fun little challenges like the snowmobile race sequence or running through the favela. But there's also some throwbacks from like Call of Duty 4, like the Gillied Up mission. They start off easy, and as you unlock more, they get harder. They're a lot of fun, but on Veteran, some of them can be a pain. Some of them can be super long, especially like the Juggernaut ones. Every time I hear that Juggernaut spawn theme, it's just like, it scarred me, you know, like, ugh, every time I hear it, it's like PTSD. Honestly, I've done all these solo. I've 100%ed it on the PS3 and the Xbox 360 version. I don't think they're as hard if you keep practicing, you know, they're not actually that bad. For the 2-player ones, doing those solo with 2 controllers, it's a pain in the butt, but honestly, it's doable. Spec Ops on here are a lot of fun. Like I said, the later missions are a lot harder, but I like a challenge, and you can also like speed run them as well. Lots of fun, and I wish Spec Ops like this would return in the future. Not some half-assed Spec Ops that we got in like the reboot series. To many people, the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer is the golden age of Call of Duty. However, it also is widely considered one of the most broken and unbalanced Call of Duty games ever. If you didn't know, halfway through the game's life cycle, the original Infinity Ward developers got fired from Activision for a breach in contract. It was all just a ploy for Activision to get rid of them so they can keep more money for themselves. Basically, all of the Infinity Ward staff, most of them, left, and the game was just left in its broken state. They had a patch ready to go to balance things out, but it was never released because they all left. So basically this game to this day remains in its broken state, which some people love it and others hate it. Every gun in this game is overpowered, and so basically if everything's overpowered, then nothing's overpowered. That's basically the design philosophy they went with this game. There's death streaks if you die a certain amount of times. I hate death streaks. I think it's stupid to be rewarded just because you suck, you know? Play the game and get better, you know? But anyways, death streaks are a thing. Every gun is super powerful. Shotguns had like sniper rifle range. Some attachments, I believe, if I remember correctly, like the red dot sight on the FAL, it wasn't even centered properly, and some attachments would give you infinite sprint and stuff. Everything was just like not patched. It was just broken, you know? Modern Warfare 2 has one of the best map pools in Call of Duty history to some people, not to me. Maps like High Rise and Terminal, they're great. I think Terminal's overrated, honestly. Favela, great map. Afghan, it's alright. Wasteland and Estate, they're just very camper filled, and not to mention a lot of these maps have terrible head glitching spots. So annoying. Very annoying. Derail and a couple other maps, they're decent, but Scrapyard and Rust, probably my favorite maps. The maps on here are like a mixed bag for me personally. I think some of them are good and some of them are just like, I don't want to play on them, you know? This game introduced titles and emblems, giving players a way to flex their achievements, like the 10th Prestige Spinning Skull emblem. You had pro perks that gave you extra abilities if you completed challenges for them, like sleight of hand, instead of just making you reload quicker. I think the pro perk version would make you aim down sight quicker as well. You also had a secondary primary weapon in every match, so you could take like a shotgun as your secondary, or a launcher or a machine gun pistol. This was the first Call of Duty game that let you stack kill streaks. Getting a Harrier led to a chopper gunner, which led to a tactical nuke, and then you end the match. Every player dies. It's basically an instant win button. If I remember correctly, this is like the only Call of Duty that lets you stack kill streaks, if I remember correctly. And honestly, I think it's kind of stupid. I know why they did it, just to make it easy to get a tactical nuke, because who's realistically going on a 25 kill streak if your streaks aren't counting towards your base kills with your weapons? The biggest thing about this game is, with everything being broken and unbalanced, The noob tube meta. Noob tube spam is in every single match. The grenade blasts do so much damage. The combination of one-man army and danger close, they allow players to sit in a corner with infinite supply of high-damage grenade launchers. It's terrible, honestly. Every lobby you play, just terrible grenade launcher spam. The Commando Pro perk, which increased your melee distance to an absurd degree, letting you basically teleport across large gaps of, say, like 20 feet just to stab someone. I think it's just dumb. And as I mentioned before, the shotguns, before they got nerfed at launch, the Akimbo dual-wield shotguns for the Model 1887s had sniper rifle range, and still to this day, some shotguns have very, very far range. As I mentioned, the death streaks, stuff like Painkiller that gives you a massive health boost upon respawning after dying several times, that's just stupid. It's kind of like Juggernaut from the previous Call of Duty games like COD 4 and World at War that give you like extra health. But this gave you like way too much health, because I'll get in a gunfight and I'll gun someone down, this will not die. I think death streaks are just stupid. When I was playing on 360, there are a few hacked lobbies where people are just like trying to sell their information, like, hey, follow me on Twitter or Instagram, here's my label, and there's like an infinite tactical nuke alarm going off. I played on PS3 as well recently, these past couple days. I haven't found any hacked lobbies. There are people with like those hacked prestige emblem icons that are missing. And there was someone I caught using aimbot. F you, dude, honestly. You're a loser. But for the most part, I haven't seen like too many people cheating, but there are hacked lobbies, and just be aware, because you don't want to join those and have your rank get all messed up. Just not worth it. The multiplayer also has a very high time to kill, so pair that with the super powerful guns on here, you'll die in like 2 seconds. There's also like server stability. I know this is like peer-to-peer connection, and there's like a host and stuff. They don't do that in modern Call of Duty games nowadays. They have like dedicated servers. But still, I feel like the servers and the hit detection on bullets is just wacky as hell, and honestly, it's kind of frustrating. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, the original, has one of my favorite campaigns of all time in any Call of Duty game. It's up there, probably number one, honestly. Spec Ops are super fun, awesome, and I wish Modern Warfare games going forward in the future wouldn't just rehash zombies. We don't need zombies in every game, you know? Have some unique mode like this, you know? Or Modern Warfare 3's survival mode, that was awesome. Spec Ops is fantastic, the campaign is fantastic, the multiplayer is a lot of fun, although it is also frustrating as hell sometimes. Still a lot of fun though. This game is fantastic, I love it, it's a classic Call of Duty, and it's basically a time capsule of what Call of Duty used to be, you know, back in the day, versus now with skill-based matchmaking and all this other bull crap. It's a fantastic game. My recommendation, play the PS3 version if you want to play multiplayer. There's way less hackers. You may not find lobbies as quickly, but there's still an active player base on there, especially because I was playing on Christmas Day and a couple days after Christmas, and there's still a lot of people playing. So go play this game. Give it a try if you never have. I'll see you next time.